All right, guys, welcome back to Surviving Hollywood. I'm Johnny Ray Diaz.
I am Aaron Arnold.
And I'm Austin Arnold.
And today we sat down with a friend of mine that I met many years ago on a set, actor, filmmaker, producer, guy does it all, Rene Mena.
Good guy.
I met him on a Curacao commercial around the time, I think, when I first moved to LA. I don't know how long ago it was, honestly. It was so many years ago. Some Spanish commercial. If you're not familiar with Curacao, it's basically a Walmart for Latinos. Anyway, fun shoot. But yeah, this guy has been he's been doing it all, man. Since then, which was a long time ago, he's been on multiple TV shows like Kidding with Jim Carrey. He's been on Kidding with Jim Carrey. Yes. I can't talk today.
He's been on
Hand of God, Shameless, and
Bright, the movie with Will Smith.
And now he's actually producing his own films, including a feature film that is out right now called Prescience.
And my main takeaway from this conversation, Renè, super passionate guy. The thing I learned is distribution. We asked him so many questions about, okay, well,
the business side,
because he got distribution domestically and foreign distribution, and we asked all the questions.
Right. So love this guy's energy. Enjoy the podcast. Starts off a little bit saucy. I don't know how we got into it in the beginning, but
it was a little weird at the beginning. But yeah, like Austin said,
we like joking around.
It was. I thought it was. I mean, I liked it. That was a little weird. But you know what?
It wasn't weird for me. I'm just warning you guys.
I think he was trying to break the ice.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too.
Which is fine.
A little saucy. That's all I'm saying.
But for anybody out there that's interested in how to distribute a film, like you've made a movie, now what do I do? This is a great podcast for you guys, and he talks about also working with Eric Roberts.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I did that too, and I share our different experiences with that. So
great actor.
Stay tuned.
Enjoy.
Now presenting Johnny Ray Diaz, yeah, and the Arnold twins. Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. Tell me.
That's a good question.
That is a great question. I mean, I have no boundaries, and everybody who knows me, my family, my friends, they know that I'm willing to do whoever it takes.
Yeah. And would you have a list? Who have you done?
Well, he'd much prefer.
How many people have you crossed off that list?
Unfortunately, no one has ever offered me a role.
The goddamn Me Too movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not yet.
One day, though.
But I want to put it out there that I am open to do whoever it takes. Yes.
Doesn't it suck when they just book you on your talent?
So much. No, I was so excited. I was getting ripped. I was working out because I'm coming to Hollywood, and I'm thinking like, yes, I'm gonna have offers, casting couch. Not once I've been offered.
Not once.
And I'm getting older, and I've heard that after you turn like 30, nobody wants to fuck you.
If you're a female, but if you're a male,
I guess I'm out of luck then.
You're a male, you get more appealing.
Really?
I hear.
Well, if you say so.
Wow.
Age like wine. That's the whole
And I was
thing.
just kidding. About the female thing. They get more attractive to me the older they get as well.
Well, some of them. I met Michelle Pfeiffer not long ago, and that woman, remember how beautiful she was? She still is beautiful, elegant.
Good.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite Michelle Pfeiffer movie?
There's so many of them, I can't name.
Could you even name one?
No.
White Oleander, isn't that?
You know what's funny?
You Got Mail? Was she in that one?
That was Meg Ryan.
They're the same person.
America's sweetheart.
That's right.
Oh,
that's right.
Her legacy
We're
is beyond
so assholes.
any one movie is beyond.
But she's still beautiful.
The one where she played a substitute teacher. What was
Isn't that
one?
Diane Lane?
Dangerous Mind.
That's not
Dangerous
Diane
Mind.
Lane.
No, Diane Lane.
Yeah,
she's not blonde hair.
Which one is the one that she was in the bus and she's getting fucked by this model, French model? Which one? No,
that's Speed. Yeah,
sounds like a foreign
Sandra
film.
Bullock?
No. Oh, I know that one. No, not Sandra Bullock. Definitely not Sandra Bullock. No, this is talking about Diane Lane. She did a movie where she falls in love with this guy who's an escort, and they have a sex scene in the bus or the train, and it's so hot. I played it in my mind for a good week after I watched the movie in theaters. I was a teenager too.
Are there any good
don't
gay
know
sex
that.
scenes in modern movies?
Shouldn't you know that? Either of you? Any of you?
I don't know.
I wish I knew.
Why am I being asked that? I just saw.
I was asking Johnny.
Okay, I just saw
don't know.
Brokeback Mountain, and
For the first time?
It's because your movie deals with like
Oh yeah,
a coming
where's
of
my
age.
movie? Yeah.
Movies
You act
over
like
there.
you act like I have no reason to ask you about that.
Okay,
I thought maybe you did some research or
So
something.
I saw Brokeback Mountain
Recently?
and- yeah, and I was impressed by how much sex there is in it. Yeah, and then I went to see Call Me by Your Name.
I love that movie.
It was
so
great.
good.
Yeah. Finally cheering for the couple to have sex. When are they finally going
Well,
to have
Can
sex?
I can I say something about that movie?
Well,
though?
the thing is that kid was underage, buddy.
Exactly.
And that made it even better.
Well, we know where Renee's head's at.
Yeah.
Well, see, that was my only problem with that movie. I thought the movie was very beautifully done, very cinematic. All the good stuff was there. My biggest problem is like Armie Hammer looks like he's in his mid 30s, and the kid looks like he's like 15.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Armie Hammer
this
looks-
just looks. Armie Hammer is only like in his late 20s, but he looks like he's like late 30s.
He is only in his late 20s?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought he was just playing.
No, he's like 27 or something.
He's actually very young. Yeah, he's actually younger.
Yeah, I'm
than
gonna
some
look
of
that
us.
up.
He's younger
He really
than
is.
us. He's younger
He's
than
younger
us.
than us, than all of us. Let's
I
put
think
it
he's
that
like
way.
28 or something. He's in his late
Yeah.
20s. But anyway, I was like, that guy looks like he's pushing 40. And I'm like, this kid's like 15.
And
And, I
he's
was
so-
like,
Armie Hammer's 33.
all right, whatever.
Well,
That's still pretty young.
All right,
Still young, though.
He's still younger than some of us.
man. Yeah.
Alright.
We're the
We're not
same
gonna
age.
say who, but
Okay.
We're the
look
same
young.
age.
we all look young.
Yeah.
We're all young. Okay.
I think so.
At heart.
But anyway,
Okay.
Anyway, dude,
so let's talk about
let's get
this
into
real
it. I want to
quick.
hear about you, man. I
yeah.
want to hear about this
Me.
movie.
Oh, which one? Prescience, or Prescience?
Did you change the name?
Yeah.
Actually,
Well, in the United States, it's called Prescience. In outside of the United States, it's called Intuitions.
is there a reason why?
Yeah. So in the United States, we have Indican Pictures doing TV and theater distribution. Lionsgate is doing all of the digital distribution. They love the name. Outside of the United States is Shoreline. They hate it. Prescience.
It didn't work with the
Well,
foreign market.
they didn't even know how to pronounce it. So
I see.
and they're right. They
I didn't know how to pronounce it either.
What
to
does
be
that
honest.
mean? What does that mean?
Prescience or Prescience.
That's what I thought. I was like
Yeah,
pre-science.
I thought it was
It's-
pre-science.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to do with science, right? It's the act of knowing something before it takes place, and in this case, we take
So
it.
that's called intuition.
Yeah, exactly. But and in the movie, we take it to in a sexual way. So there's a lot of sex.
Good God.
Yeah,
What's this rated? Or if it had a rating?
R.
Really?
Yeah, R. Yeah, it's rated R. So it's a little bit of like 50 Shades of Grey in terms of sex.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was PG-13, 50 Shades of Grey. So this is better.
But like, I'm not. This movie is about a lawyer who's coming to terms with his own sexuality. Is that-
Yes, it is a love story between two men. So Brokeback Mountain, Call Me by Your Name.
In modern times.
Yeah, when we were pitching this movie, that's how we were pitching it.
Do you play the main guy?
I am. So the story is actually based. It's based in true events. It did happen to this, unfortunately, to this guy, and I play that guy that this happened to. So yeah.
Was this a friend of yours that went through this or what?
No, not a friend.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
So
God.
so for us, because I haven't seen it, and for the audience at home, tell us what this whole movie is about.
Well, it's a love story between two men. So Isaac Smith comes from El Salvador, comes to the States, to Los Angeles, and he gets adopted. Him and his little sister, they get adopted by a Caucasian family, and as he becomes an adult, he starts to realize that he likes men, and so he goes through that process. There is a lot of twists and turns in the movie that I don't want to give away. I think you should watch it. It is rated R, so no kids should be watching this movie. But it's fun. It's a really
But if you
good
go with your
story.
older brother, then
You can,
then you
or
can.
sister, or
Exactly.
mom, or dad, or date.
So there's ways for children to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
sneak
yeah.
in.
Yeah, of course. And now you can literally download it anywhere. It's on 20 online platforms. So if you want to watch it, you can.
What would be the most notable one where our audience can go see it today?
Oh, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Vudu. The list goes on and on. Redbox, iTunes. So many places online.
So when you were writing this, did you always know that you would be the one to star in it?
I wasn't, and I did not know the story. It wasn't me. The story is LaShawn Williams. He is the original writer.
Oh, but you were co-writer? Or?
Yes, because once he presented me the story, he's the one who wrote the film, the script, the main, the blueprint. So he brought it to me. He had told me 6 months prior to that he was writing a story that he wanted me to be the lead in.
And he was in the movie as well, right?
Yeah, he is. He plays the homophobic friend. He plays
God.
James. Yeah, and so he was writing the story. He had the rights to the script. And when he approached me with the blueprint, I loved it, but I saw a lot of mistakes, a lot of flaws in the script. And that's how
what?
Well, because he was telling the story from a heterosexual standpoint. So he would have insulted so many gay men, and that wouldn't have settled well with gay men. And the Hispanics, too. He's African-American. No disrespect to him, but, he had, if it's a Salvadorian family, you should have pupusas, not tacos.
Very
and so
true.
it was little things like that.
How did he insult the gay community? Like, so something like, obviously he wasn't doing it purposefully, but...
Right. So little things like you don't want to call a woman a cunt, right? Because
Not even if you're straight.
Unless you're in England.
Yeah. And so, right. And so things like that. And when you can call her other things, right? And so he was calling men, gay men, and coming from the straight man, it's not going to sit well. And so the audience, especially the gay audience, would have been like really pissed.
Called gay men cunts.
That was a bad example, but just to give you an idea.
Okay.
Things like that, and then having tacos over pupusas and whatnot. So those things don't sit well with us Salvadorians or Hispanics. So I came and started fixing that. And then we ended up having 2 other writers to help us better develop the story. So there were 4 of us, 4 writers.
And then you also produced it too.
I am actually the main producer, and
Okay.
I executive produce too. Yeah.
So now, is this the first feature film you produced?
First featured, yeah, I had done 3 short films
Okay.
before this. So I've done some films, yeah.
As the producer, you were in charge of like hiring everybody, getting everybody together?
Yeah, there were 103 people involved in here.
Holy
and
hell.
I hired each and every one of them. I interviewed each of them, and some of them 2 or 3 times before they got hired.
The actors and the crew? Or just...
Yeah, for the actors.
You probably have worked with the crew before and the actors.
Yeah, some of them, yeah. So for the actors, we had a casting director, and he went through, for Mark, the other lead, he saw over 300 people for that character. He brought 10 of them to callbacks. That was my first time. After the callbacks, we screen tested 3 of them, and that's how we landed Mike to play Mark.
Who was the casting director?
Emmanuel, a friend of mine, Emmanuel Oarca.
All right, well, I'm going to talk to my agent and ask how come I wasn't up for Mark.
Well, I will say this.
You could have played the homophobic friend.
I would have killed it.
There is a next, and this much I can say. So my next film that it's already finished. We already finished writing it. I am also producing and executive producing. It's called Raphael, and that one, the breakdowns will be out the first week of January.
Boom, better get
On
on it, dude.
breakdowns.
Boom, get on it.
And
Text
so
them
we
now.
have some very exciting names attached already, and a couple of others in talk. So
Eric Roberts,
on the next one, no.
because he was on the first one. He was on this one.
Yeah, he was on Prescience.
Right.
I'm not sure if he's going to be on the next one.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I want to hear more about this whole process. So first of all, did you ever want to produce movies?
No, it wasn't until about 4 years ago. One of my friends was producing a little short with $500 budget, and it just didn't sound right. He hired me to be the lead on the short called Heartbroken. It was,
It's a pretty low budget.
yeah. And I ended up helping him, little things. And I realized because of the little things that I did, the short turned out to be okay. So then I went on to do the next short by myself. And then I went and got a few other friends together to do the third. And the third, thankfully, we did a lot better.
But stepping up to a feature is a whole
Oh,
different
yeah.
animal.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
When you first decided to come on this process or this journey for this, what was it like getting all those pieces to come together?
It's it's a lot of headaches, a lot of work, a lot of very stressful, very, very stressful, but all worth it at the end. It's just having the right people. You know, they do say it takes a village to make a film. I truly believe that.
Did you guys already have funding?
How'd you get that for a feature? That must cost a lot more.
So we had, we did have 2 investors, 2 private investors who have nothing to do with show business. We also had a Kickstarter, which was a lot of family and friends giving us money. and that's how we did it. And I ended up also funding some of it myself through credit cards.
Okay. How much was your budget? If you don't mind saying.
And I don't want the fake thing you put on IMDb.
Actually,
if you're okay talking about it. If you're not, it's fine.
We did do it under the ultra low budget contract.
Did you pay the actors?
Nope.
Hey, I wouldn't have done it either. Just kidding.
Actually, since it is a union, I'm very happy to say that we did not defer any payments for the actors.
Cool. Nice.
And they are getting residuals because the film was in theaters here in LA and San Francisco.
Nice.
How many weeks?
Only 1 week.
And they get residuals for that?
Yes, and also now that it's in sorry.
What the hell?
Now that it's
Easy,
like
Renè.
it's in so many online platforms, they get residuals from there too.
Cool.
We're also in talks with a big network that wants to air it as movie of the week.
Hallmark, Lifetime.
I wish a bigger one.
Probably not a Hallmark
It's
movie.
actually a bigger network.
Please.
But they're gonna cut down a lot of the sex, which I understand because it's
Dude, that's
yeah. So that was like really cool. So that was my first film as both as the lead character and also as the main producer, executive producing and writer. So that was pretty cool.
Did you guys already have Eric Roberts on board, or
No,
how did that-
Johnny's worked with him actually.
I did work with him on a film.
Oh, that's
I was going to
awesome.
ask you about your experience with
Oh,
him,
okay.
but continue. How did you get Eric?
So we wrote the roles for Eric as the father, Linda Gray as the mother, and Vanessa Vasquez as the sister. So those roles, as we were writing, I already had him in mind. And I talked to my producing partner, LaShawn, and he was perfectly fine. I mean, he actually, I remember joking the very first time that I pitched those names. He said, dude, there's no way we're getting any of them. And I said, you know what? I think we have a chance. This is a really good story. It's unique. And I think we have a chance. And so sure enough, we got all of them. And so once we had the script, once we had the funding, we pitched them we sent them an offer. And thankfully, they all accepted.
Did you go through their representation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Eric Roberts, he comes with a price.
Of
already.
course. And
Yeah.
a lot of demands, too.
What's one thing in his rider?
he doesn't read the whole script, only his part.
What's a demand?
Okay, one demand that he comes with is that there has to be coffee on set.
Dude,
I mean, that's like every set has that, right?
The
Yeah.
most relatable thing ever.
This guy, for me was really a dream come true. I mean, he's an Academy Award nominee, Golden Globe nominee, and we knew exactly who we wanted. And sure enough, not only he, every award that he was nominated in, every film festival he won. And in Richmond, Virginia, where we had our world premiere, he was given the Life Achievement Award.
Whoa.
So literally, and in Vegas, he was against Richard Jenkins, Martin Sheen, and he won against them still.
Wow.
So
Nice.
in some of the festivals in Nice, in France, he won too. So every festival that we were nominated, he won.
He
He's
won.
the only actor in the only category that we have won in every festival.
What was his
Wow.
process like showing up on set when it came to like rehearsal or just hanging around?
Well, we didn't have money to rehearse, so we
Right,
did
right.
not rehearse anything. So he literally came to set, went through makeup. 20 minutes later, we were shooting.
and he was ready.
And he was ready. This guy is a pro. I mean, this guy does not joke. I mean, he comes to work.
Good.
And for me, it was so great because I have the climax of the film is with him and my mother and my sister in the film. And this guy came to play. I mean, this guy was not joking at all.
Really?
And so it's so much, you guys can appreciate this as an actor when you have that and they just get it out of you. It's so much better.
Was that your experience, Johnny?
That was not my experience, but I'm glad that you had a positive one.
I had a very, very positive. In fact, if there was a role on any film that I would produce, I would hire him again.
Okay, that's
Very-
good. No, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I'd work with him.
I mean, any of us
Yeah.
would work with him.
So-
So I worked on a film with him a few years ago, and I was excited as well. But it actually, working with him slowed the production down because he didn't know any of his lines. We had to make
Hey,
cue cards
Cue
everywhere.
cards work.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
the first or last actor that I worked with who does that.
Brando.
But with
Right.
us, we never had an issue. And I mean, like I said, this guy came to work,
That's good. That's good.
And the scenes speak for themselves, you know, whenever he's on camera. The guy pops.
I mean, this guy, yeah. And so for me, I would hire him in every film that I produce.
Me too.
I had a very positive experience with all the cast.
Yeah,
with
that's good.
everybody really brought it, and they were making very little to no money.
I feel you.
What so after you first of all, how long was the shooting schedule? How many days?
I think we shot about 2 months.
Every day?
No.
Okay,
No,
so it was
we
kind of
had days
split
off.
up.
Yeah, we had days off, but altogether we shot 2 months. Yeah.
How many days do you think we're actually filming in those 2 months?
I think we shot about 31 or 32 days.
That was pretty long.
It was a
Great.
long, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, again, I had only shot short films, and my crew wasn't the most experienced either. So
Okay.
we were very ambitious. So when we first started, we thought, oh, we can do this in 11 days. Oh,
A
hell
feature
no.
film in 11 days?
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like an asylum
Because
movie.
again, we had 17 locations. And
That's a lot.
so the very
Yeah.
first day that we came to set, we were shooting at a music studio, which was great. And we were thinking, okay, so we're going to be done with this scene in 3 hours, and we move to downtown, and then we go to West Hollywood. Wrong. And all this, we wanted to do it in 10 hours. Well, it took us 12 hours to just go from Hollywood to downtown, and neither one of them, we finished all the scenes that we had in each location.
I believe it.
So now West Hollywood got pushed, right? And then we also were short in one scene in one of the locations. So there we realized, okay, we have to change something. Something's not working here. And I had done some of the scheduling myself and the director. And so, yeah, we went back and realized we're going to need about 30 days.
That's a
And
big
so,
budget.
and then we ended
Yeah.
up taking breaks in between because some of the cast and the crew were not available. And that's how it all took over 2 months.
Gotcha.
But paying the crew, let alone the cast, but the crew for like 30 days.
Or like double what you thought you would.
Yeah, like
be
just
paying.
adding days in general.
Tripled. It tripled. Yeah.
Triple.
Yeah.
Now, as a like one of the producers, were you like stressing out? Like,
Oh my God! I'll get this. The very first day we're shooting in downtown Hollywood at a music studio, which is a real music studio, recording studio. Everybody on set, all the crew and a couple of the cast, they got tickets, parking tickets.
Oh my God.
And so, mind you, most of these people are donating their time,
Right.
right? And so they just got a ticket of $68.
And now they have to pay it themselves.
Well, no, you know, we
kidding.
decided to pay it, but that was $1,000
That's
added
nice.
to the
That
budget.
is-
Wow.
So the very first day we already over budget.
That was nice of you guys to pay it.
So
Yeah.
we ended up, it went on my credit cards again. So it was one of the things that everything that we did not account for, it went on my credit card. So at the
Gotcha.
end, I ended up being the biggest investor in
I
the
see.
film.
So you never had to go back to those private investors and say, hey, the scheduling's changed.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
No. Well, I don't think I could because of the type of contract that I had cut with them.
Gotcha.
So
I
see.
I couldn't go back. Yeah.
So I'm not familiar with this. What type of typical contract would you cut with an investor? Like what percentage do they get on the back end? Or how does that work?
Yeah, it varies. Normally, my contracts that I do is so for my next film, Raphael, let's say you want to invest, give me an amount.
10,000.
Okay, so with $10,000 in my next film, we'll get you, when we make the money back, you get $10,000 plus 20%, so that will be $12,000
Okay.
that you get back. Then with that, you will own a percentage of the net profits of the film for life.
Okay.
So it'll be something between 1% and 2%. So
And is
very, very small,
Is
but
he the first person to get paid back?
first come, first served, or it goes based on the amount. So if you were to come with 12, then you have priority over him.
Makes
Whoa,
sense to
dude.
me.
Whoa.
Makes sense
I'll
to
do
me.
13.
I'll do 14.
So when people watch this movie, like what's this movie seems like it has a message to me, like something.
It
like,
does.
Like what is the message? Is this for like gay people who are like in the
No.
process of coming out? Or?
No. This
for
is
lawyers.
really a love story between two men. That's what it is, and it is about the second message, or the message that we're trying to convey is to be who you are. You are good enough, and
That's awesome.
and coming, and Isaac Smith is coming to terms with who he is. With his sexuality is just part of it, but he is finding himself, and that's what this film is about. To tell you that you are good enough and be who you are, because that's good enough.
I want to watch it.
You should watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
We will.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so what was the distribution process like? And when you guys wrapped the film, like, did you know where to go, or did you figure it out on the fly?
I didn't, by the way. I did about 90% of the work from beginning to end on this film,
Okay.
except, of course, the DP did his work, the director his, but the funding, the distribution, all of that stuff. I did it all myself. So once we had finished shooting,
And how long did the editing take?
the editing was, well, the editor had the very first rough cut within 2 weeks.
Wow.
So Javier was like really good
Wow,
because
that's
he
good.
was in love with the actors and he was amazed what we had done with. Once I told him what the budget was,
Yeah.
he was excited to see what we had done because he had never edited a full length feature for even well, the budget that he had done before was $300,000. So he was really excited. And these are his words. This film had more names than the one he did for that. It was $300,000 the budget.
Wow.
So he was very excited to get to edit this.
Yeah.
So within 2 weeks, he had the first rough cut. Once I had that, then I had him cut me a trailer so I could start sending it to the distributors. So I went after about 400 distributors in the United States.
And now how do you find them? Is it just, you just
IMDb.
Google and searching them basically?
IMDb, the same way you will find an actor,
and
an
you just
agent
shoot them an
manager.
email or?
A lot of phone calls,
Okay.
a lot of hang-ups.
It's
Okay.
a phone call before the email.
Oh yeah, because if you're just sending an email, you're just another of God knows how many people. So
Right.
you want to call and inquire and get.
Give us your pitch. Give us the 30 second. You have 30 seconds on the phone before they say, "Oh, no, thanks."
Well, let's say, okay, so let's go with Indicans. I closed with Indicans because after I had 7 offers for distribution, and I went with them because I thought they were the best fit for us. So the way I did it is once I had their information, I will call the office and ask who is the acquisition agent or manager in that office. They will tell me, and then I will talk to that person, talk to her and ask her, is this something that you're interested in seeing? And if so, I'll send you a trailer. She'll say yes or no. So and that way you don't have to waste sending that email.
You give them the log line. This movie's about this. Are you interested? I'll send you the trailer. Is that the?
I think our log line is a misrepresentation of the film now that I went through the entire process.
Is that the one I
would
saw on
change.
IMDb? Is
Yes.
Oh.
Now, so much that each Lionsgate changed the log line. Indican Pictures changed it. The only ones who kept it were Shoreline. I don't know
What
why.
is the log line?
Is a criminal attorney. I don't even remember, but it talks about
Yeah, it was like a criminal attorney basically comes to terms with his sexuality, right?
yeah, but I find that a misrepresentation of what now that I know the entire film.
Yeah.
And I agreed, and I greenlit that log line, but now I think like that's not a good representation.
Yeah. So a lot of our listeners are up and coming filmmakers, actors, all that kind of good stuff. Once you got these distribution offers, what does a typical distribution offer look like? Like if someone has their film out there and they want to get it distributed, like can they expect?
So I had 7 offers for the United States territory, and then I had so many more for international. Each of them were different. So if I tell you what one is, again, all the other 6 were different.
What's an important
Just like a
factor?
ballpark.
What's an important
Okay.
factor besides the money, though?
Oh, exactly. So
Sure.
first you have to sit with it and know what's important to you. Do you want to be in theaters? Do you want to go to Netflix? Do you want to go to TV? Where do you want to go? So
Right.
that needs to reflect the offer that you get. Also, what's important to you? Get paid up front, a big chunk of money, or to get a percentage of what the film makes for life. So all of those things you need to, because there are offers where they'll offer you $100,000 for the film,
Right.
and that's all you get.
Then
So
they
they're-
own it.
Yeah.
They own it.
They're
So
just
now,
buying the movie basically.
like, let's say Lionsgate give you $100,000 for your film, which would be an insult. But I've heard those. I've read those deals, and because the filmmaker signed off on it, now Lionsgate went and changed a few things, sent it to theaters.
I
They
see.
made 20 million.
But basically, if you don't believe in your film anymore, if you don't think it turned out that good, you would take that offer.
Well, you wouldn't get that offer if it didn't turn out that
right.
well. Right. Yeah, because for every film that we get to see in theaters, there were, I don't know how many thousands that did not make it to theaters. So it's very competitive to sell a film, or better yet, to get the type of offer that you expect to get. So every offer is different.
Got you. So the offer go ahead.
And how does, in general terms, how does domestic differ from foreign markets?
Oh, very different. Oh, God. I mean, you got to be more specific because...
I can't. I don't know how.
Okay, so let me give you something. So my film here in the United States is called Prescience because that's the name that I picked. That's the name that I liked. But internationally, it's called Intuition. So when you sell the film, whoever is distributing or selling it, they now own it pretty much, and they can do whatever the heck they want with it. So one of the things they did was change the name, and they were like nice about it. They were like, hey, so we really like Prescience, but we like Intuitions better. Is that okay with you? And I said yes, thankfully, because, oh, great, because we already ordered this and this and this. So if I would have said no.
Awkward.
Exactly. So I'm glad that I like Intuitions. And I was even thinking, why didn't I think of that word before? It's easier to say. People know what it means.
People know what it means.
But I didn't. So, too late.
And what's one more thing that I'm not thinking of that's different domestically?
Yeah, it's. I mean, so many things are different. Again, I
The
got
money for different regions is probably different.
Yeah, because so there, typically you get money. They call them markets, right? So each country or territory, and so like let's say you get $20,000 for England and $50,000 for Ireland. Bad examples, but so altogether you can make, I don't know, $1 million, $2 million, right? So you can, depending on the contract, you can get an amount, a percentage of each of those, or again, you can just sell it for $100,000. And so whatever money they make now is on them. Also, based on my little experience I have, the fees are higher internationally than they are nationally. There are more people wanting to distribute films here in the States, and that also has to do with the names. There are certain people like Lindsay Lohan is not worth much here in the States, but
internationally,
but in Europe,
Not to
she's
me.
huge. She's huge. Eric Roberts is known, and he's worth a lot in certain countries. Some others he's not.
I like it.
And so Linda Gray, another good example. She's loved in so many countries because of Dallas, but some other countries not as much. And so those things will vary a lot.
So when you got when you got your deal, what made you decide to go with that specific distributor?
Those were actually my dream companies to land with.
Okay.
So when I actually had an offer, they didn't know. But of course, I negotiated to get better deal. But I would have taken just what they offered me.
So it wasn't even about the money necessarily. It was those companies represented what you wanted generally?
Yeah, because it's my first feature. It's very indie. We had no money to make this. It really is a passion project.
It looks professional. Watch the trailer
Looks
on
quality.
IMDb.
Looks quality.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah. So I'll tell you guys when we're off the air what my budget really was. And so having made that, I mean, honestly, I never thought that we could even finish the film with the money that we had, or better yet, to be on TV or theaters or any of that stuff. We just wanted to make a film and see where it went.
So you didn't really have a plan necessarily after you
No,
finished
because
it.
also I had never sold a film. I had
Right.
only done short films. My last short did get a lot of festivals, awards, and stuff like that. So I knew that I was ready to make a film, but I wasn't sure what kind of film or how it was going to turn out.
Did this film play any festivals?
Yeah, several of them.
Okay.
We opened.
Eric Roberts won every.
Oh, that's
literally
right. That's right. That's right.
Every festival that we went to, he won every award. We opened in Nice, and we also opened in Richmond, Virginia. And in Richmond, we won the Audience Best Award. Yeah.
Oh, really?
For
Must
best
have-
Arguably the best
That's the
one.
one you
That's
want.
the one you want.
Yeah, and we were against a couple of really big ones. With studios actually.
So is the kind of the play to basically put the movie in festivals, get some attention, and then look for a distributor?
No, I
or
already
is it
had
the other
like-
way around?
Well, some people do it that way, but I did so much research, and I realized that doesn't quite work. I mean, a lot of people do it hoping that will happen, but it doesn't necessarily happen. So I had already sold the film before we went to festivals.
Nice.
Okay.
I was able to sell the film before we were even finished
And there's
Just
no.
by making calls.
Oh, okay.
in emails.
And the same, seeing the trailer basically, and then they
yeah.
were like, yeah.
So
we
I had
like
a
it.
different trailer for the distributors where I literally summarized the film in 3 minutes. So
Okay.
it's a very different trailer than
With the ending, basically.
Yeah, because they wanna. My goal was to show them what I've done, and so I was giving a lot of twists and turns and literally picking the best scenes of the film.
Okay.
So trailer, it's very different than what I showed him, but it was only 3 minutes, so a little longer, because my goal was just to get them hooked for them
Right.
to see the entire film.
Right.
Like
and
any
they
good
did.
dealer.
Right, and with the trailer it's similar, but with the trailer you got to be so careful. You can't use the words like fag or bitch, or there are many things you cannot say because it's going online. And
Can't say
You
bitch.
want that Disney audience.
well,
Just
you,
kidding, just
you
kidding.
can't have
You want
any,
the tweens.
right? You can't have any nudity and so many things in the trailer that and
makes
I knew that. But in what I was showing them, I had a lot of that. I wanted to show them how dark this feature was. I wanted to show them how much sex we had.
So this feature is pretty dark.
Very.
And was there any trouble finding somebody to buy it with gay themes, like overseas? I mean, obviously not in the U.S.
Well, overseas, we haven't quite sold it much yet.
Okay.
But that was the plan. It wasn't going until next year. So we'll start playing next year overseas.
I just know Russia can be a little.
There are a lot of countries. That.
So Saudi Arabia was all over it.
Right.
Our podcast will never play in those countries. That's our
Definitely
promise
not.
to you. But
Yeah.
okay, dude. So you're the producer, you're a co-writer, you're the guy, and you're the actor. And this is a dark, sexy movie, and you have to have sex scenes with these actors that you hire.
Yeah.
Bit of a power dynamic.
Okay.
I did. I got to have sex with men and women in this film, so that was fun.
living out all the dreams.
No, you wore the sock, the flesh-colored sock.
Why?
Dude, he's going for real.
Like when
Why would you want to
He's
wear that?
method,
like
man.
I
He's
had
method.
I had to do it when I did that.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. How was it?
But I wasn't the producer of it.
Well, that was something that crossed my mind, and I remember being, and I know how intimidating that is as an actor, knowing that the person, because in the callbacks, for every callback that we did, I was there reading, because they were all reading with me, and so. Yeah, I knew how intimidating that can be, because
Awkward.
Not only this person is going to be your co-star, but this person is already attached, and this person literally also decides if you get hired or not.
Yeah, dude, that's intimidating.
And so I knowing all of that, I would make it a habit, or I would try to find a way to fuck up. Right? I knew the scenes by heart. I knew the lines. But I would find a way to make it to break the ice.
Really?
To help out the actors. Yeah, because. I have been to those. Michelle Pfeiffer, I screen tested with her, by the way, and you have no idea how nervous I was. I even forgot how to do comedy.
Yeah.
But she was so sweet and so nice that she just wanted to play, and it was so great. And so yeah, it's kind of like what I did. I was just there as an actor that day, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I know how intimidating that can be.
And speaking about acting, you've also worked on a lot of cool shows.
I've done some great shows, yeah.
Shameless.
Shameless, Kidding.
I did that one. That was a really cool. I did it about 3 months ago. It comes out next year, yeah.
Nice. That was with Jim Carrey, right? Did you
Jim
what
Carrey.
scene with Jim?
Yeah, I have, I think, 3 scenes with him.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
and I forgot his wife's name in the show. I have 1 or 2 scenes with her. So yeah, I think I did 3 days on that show.
How was it working with him?
Tell us all about it.
So
Huge fan of Jim Carrey.
Same.
Yeah.
That was a dream come true, because I grew up watching him and idolizing
Yeah.
him. And when I had the audition, this is the first time I auditioned for the show. What's funny is that I was already a fan of the show. And so when I had the chance to audition, I was like, yes, this is my chance.
The show is good. The show's good.
Yeah, it's great. And I also knew that I was one of God knows how many actors auditioning, but I went there so prepared, so method to this audition. And yeah, thankfully I booked it off the tape. So being on set, I get to spit on Jim's face a lot. And so the director had told me, like, we got to find a way to do this. And Jim was like, no, we're going for it. I'm like, okay. And so I'm literally screaming on his face.
You spat on his face and screamed at him for what reason? What was like the thing?
It's the scene. It's what the scene is about. And then twice he cut himself. Well, he wasn't able to continue, so he told me, dude, you're so funny. And I was like, oh, can I record
That's
this? And he was like, yeah, you're so funny. You're so funny. And he broke twice because it was. I mean, it's a funny
cool,
scene.
man, yeah.
But what I didn't think I was, because in my opinion, he has the joke. I have to set it up for him to deliver the joke, right?
Right.
And that's how I saw it. But
And Kidding is very serious. It's not like
and it is serious.
It's a really
yeah.
dark comedy.
But twice he broke because he thought it was like so funny. Also, I'm spitting on his face. So.
Yeah, so
And-
he kind of has to.
And your character, why was your character angry without giving away too much?
Because he's getting fucked by Jim Carrey's character.
Literally?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
No, but yeah. So
All
his
right.
character is savage.
Did you do anything like off when the cameras were off and you guys were chilling? Did you do anything like embarrassing, like quote a Jim Carrey movie to
No.
Jim Carrey?
No, he would always leave. No, nothing. No. So
Jim, you leaving? All righty then.
yeah. So no, I never had. I did talk to him a little bit in between, but most of the time it was literally while we were shooting. So yeah.
And in between, he was cool, or he was always in character.
Yeah.
He's always in character.
Yeah,
huh?
he's very method. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, he's
Gotta respect it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so that was really cool. Again, she's an idol of mine. So that was like.
What's
really
your favorite
awesome.
movie of his?
There's
so many. I get it.
There's a lot.
I can name
I
one.
like Liar Liar.
That's what I like.
That's a really good one.
I like The Mask. I like Ace
Oh
Ventura.
my god, that's the first one that I
Ace
ever
Ventura
saw.
2 is really good.
So that was the very first movie I ever saw, and I had never seen a film of his.
The Mask.
And that's
Yeah.
when I fell in love with
That's
his
a
work.
good. He's good.
Yeah, I mean he has so many of them. Like Robin Williams, same way. Like I remember when I first moved to LA, and I said one day I'm gonna work with him, and because
It's not too late.
Whatever happened to Robin?
Oh, just kidding. Moving on.
Yeah.
Rip.
Sorry.
Anyway, so I got to work with one of my greatest comedians. So that was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You can only dream.
Yeah.
You also did Shameless, right?
I did Shameless. This year alone, I've
Right.
done, I think, 4 TV shows. Soundtrack, I did that for Netflix, comes out next month. That was
Soundtrack
musical.
is the name of the show.
Yeah, it's a new show that comes out in theater, in on Netflix. It's a Netflix show. And I get to play a dancer, singer, and I got to lip sync to a Judy Garland song. So that was like
Nice.
really fun. It's a Hard Knock Life or something.
It's a hard knock life for
Yeah.
us.
The
I
Jay-Z
think
song?
Something.
Okay.
I don't even remember the lyrics anymore, but I'm lip singing, so it was so much fun, and it's back in the '60s, so it was really cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
so
so-
of all the shows, I know you worked in other ones like A Hand of God, all
I
these other
did.
ones.
Bright.
Bright.
I did that
Or
movie
Will
too.
Smith.
Mexican Father was your role, I believe.
Yeah, that was a really fun movie. Yeah.
Of all the ones you've done, what's your favorite one?
You know, of all the jobs that I've done, my favorite of all, there's a little short called Wally's Will with Linda Gray, and that is my favorite short. It's an 11-minute short, and that short sort of told me that because at the time I hadn't booked much work, and I remember
And
that
how long ago was this?
about 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
And I remember that I knew that if I got that job, I could do anything. The only show I had done before that was Shameless. And I remember I auditioned, I did a callback, screen tested for it, and I knew auditioning, they kept telling us that there was a name attached, the female lead, and my character Doofus is the male lead. And it's a comedy, obviously. And
Sounds like a smart guy.
I've always been fascinated with comedy. And so I knew that if I could do that job, if I got that job, because on the callbacks, they only had me and a star name. And I was like, okay, of course they're going to get that motherfucker.
Who'd you beat out?
A name.
David Duchovny.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
And so then
Okay.
when I got that job, it was when I knew that I could do anything. And I enjoyed it. It was 4 days on set. And that's how I got to meet Linda. And Linda plays my mother on Prescience. And then we became friends.
And that's why she
Nice.
did Prescience, because you know her.
Yeah, well,
Because it's a great script.
and because she is a fantastic actress and a Golden Globe and Emmy nominee, and yeah, so I knew that I wanted to work with her again. So that's where I got the idea to have her play my mother.
And she was cool working for the ultra low budget.
She was very happy to do the project. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
She preferred it.
I was just curious.
Is there any point to producing a feature film that doesn't have a star name in it?
No,
No point,
no.
because you're not going to get
You're not gonna sell it,
a good
right?
No.
distribution.
No, because I also think as actors, if I look at it from an actor standpoint, I want to work with actors who are going to challenge me, actors who are going to stimulate my brain and help me in some sort of way. And yeah, there are a lot of unknown actors.
But you give up certain things when you get the star name, because it comes with the bigger budget. It's
Yeah, but I think
it's a give and take.
If you're gonna do a film, honestly, it's gonna cost you money because more likely you're gonna have SAG actors. You still have to make it SAG. So the difference between making a film with or without names is very little. It's very little, and actors will come to work for no money if you have names attached. I would, to this day, I would.
That's true.
But if you don't have any names, I get offers a lot and I don't take them on shorts and also indies a lot. But I see who they have attached and I see the director's reel, and I'm not inspired, I don't take them.
That's true. I offered Renè Papua, and he said no.
And I said no.
Really?
He was
No,
he
I'm
said
just kidding.
hard no.
Do what in Papua?
I don't know.
There was no role for him.
By the way, I didn't even know what Papua is. So I'm just.
That was the short film that we produced.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We offered him the role of Papua.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
there
kidding.
you go.
We're still waiting on a response.
Yeah. So there you have it. So no, I think as filmmakers, if you truly are a filmmaker, you should be making films. And if you're an actor, you should be acting.
But you're an
And
actor and a filmmaker. Which one's first?
now I am. But I've been acting professionally for 8 years and making films for 4. So half of that, I'm an actor first. I mean, I've only produced like 5 things. I've acted in, according to IMDb, 39, but I have a couple of hundreds. I've removed myself from so many shorts and indies and web series, like you have no idea.
It's hard to remove yourself.
It's
though.
really hard once they have been released.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I find ways. I've been creative. I said that's not me. That's another Renè. That's
Right.
Oh, it's hard to remove yourself from
oh
It
yeah.
is.
Once
Yeah.
once it's been released. But
yeah.
I've
Wow.
removed myself from so many shorts, so many indies that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's the fear? You did the indie and you removed like your attachment to the project. What is the fear that somebody would see that you did this and what?
Well, just low quality.
I think
They would
it's
just judge
for
you.
me it's just it's not about the quantity, it's about quality and the
Right.
projects that I'm already attached and the projects that I want to be attached to. So from this point on, I only want to be in big budget films and TV shows and films that mean something.
I like it.
I've done a lot of work for exposure and all that stuff. I don't think I need any more exposure.
You already got your reel.
And I've had a reel for the last 4 years, so I
Yeah.
certainly don't need any more.
Right.
Well, you can always get a better reel.
I keep updating it every 6 months, every year, because I
TV
have
shows.
new TV shows, new movies
Yeah.
coming out. That like right now, I already have 3 films shot that are coming out. One of them in theaters, a couple of others I don't know where they're gonna land. So that's gonna be a good reel. So that's the type of stuff I want to have in my reel at this point. So yeah, I forgot how we got here, but yeah,
That's all right. Do you think it's worth producing a short film?
no.
Okay. Unless you have a star attached.
Because you can't distribute it. They're not going to sell it, right?
Well, remember, you're asking me, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't produce a short anymore. But I think it is worth for any up and coming actor, producer, anybody who wants to learn how to the filmmaking process. Yes, you should. For me, no, I wouldn't do it, even for the money, even if I'm offered money.
But you did just to learn, so then you could do the things that do matter.
Yes, because now I'm into feature films and pilots and TV shows. That's what I want to produce from here on. I know it's a lot more competitive. I know there's a lot more risk, but I'm willing to do that. A short at this point, I think, will not do anything to me or for
Step
me.
back for you.
Yeah, exactly. But I think everybody should do it. Should do at least 1, 2, 3, or 5, whatever many shorts you need to do before you do a full-length feature.
I find the hardest part is writing the feature. You bought it from somebody, or you collabed
No, we
with
wrote
somebody?
it. Yeah, my friend wrote the blueprint, a 20-page.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then we came and turned it into what it
nice.
became, the screenplay. It's hard. And remember, we are our worst critics. So yeah,
So don't feel bad, Austin.
yeah.
Okay,
Don't.
phew.
You're probably a good writer.
There's hope for that 300
Yeah.
page you wrote.
Yeah.
I'm going to add you on it on IMDb.
Please. Yes. That's the gigolo.
Yeah, exactly.
Renè
Yeah.
will be the name in the next project, right?
Why do you keep deleting yourself from IMDb? then?
I swear it's him.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's cool. So you're working on another one called Raphael, you said?
So my next one is called Raphael.
And that's a feature, obviously.
is,
It's not
yeah.
a stupid short.
Well, no, I don't
kidding.
think it's stupid, by
Just
the way. No,
kidding.
it never. Yeah, it's a psychological thriller. It is tells the story of a serial killer on the loose,
Cool.
and he's terrorizing the entire country.
How does he kill? What's his thing?
You'll have to see the film.
He has sex with them. He
Based on
obviously
a-
has sex with them.
Based on a true story?
Yeah, no, this one's not. This one's complete fictitious. I'm gonna play Raphael, and I'm
Obviously.
excited. Yeah, I'm
I can see
excited.
it. You
yeah.
are that
oh
guy.
yeah. Oh,
Hey,
you
relax,
bet.
relax. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm really excited. It's
Okay.
yeah. I co-wrote the film too, and yeah, I'll be producing. So I'm excited.
Nice. Did you guys already get funding for this one as well?
We have most of it. Yeah. So we
Okay.
technically can say that we're funded. Yeah.
Same
Okay.
investors or different investors?
Brand new, mostly family and friends.
Got
Okay,
you.
cool.
Yeah.
So what is it? What is the trick to getting good investors to get on board of the project?
I think you need a good script. I think you need a good story, and be able to sell it. You know, if you're passionate, if you truly believe on what you're selling, I think they'll see it and they'll invest based on that.
when you reach to outside investors, what is your pitch? You pitch to them, or how are you finding these people?
It depends. I would. So now I have a list of people who want to invest on whatever I do next.
Okay.
And by list, I mean like some of them are investing literally $500.
Yeah.
But some of them are $10,000, $20,000. So there's, so I'll take whatever money you want to give me because every penny counts.
Right.
And the more money I have, it's really tough to get the very first person to give you money. Once you have someone, then the rest of them will fall.
Is there any, for the most part, though, I would say you don't usually get your return back, right? On most of these.
I am.
Well, he's 1 for 1.
Well, yeah,
I am.
Yeah, but on a lot of projects, I think why people are afraid is because they're like, well, it's kind of just a donation, right?
Yeah. So I think, I'm not saying do what I did, but I do a lot of research. Why it is that indie films do not get their money back. Why is it that they don't make money? Then when you understand why, then you don't make those mistakes. So one of the things is that I knew I needed names, even if I had no money. I knew that I needed a good story. I knew that I needed, so I had my demographics, my micro demographics. So I knew exactly who I was targeting to. And so the film I was making, I will shape it around those people. I knew the heterosexual men, especially the close-minded, will not see this film. Therefore, I didn't care for them.
So Austin's not going to see it.
Well,
Dude.
no, because he's not close-minded. So
Thank you, Renè.
We have literally
Renè gets me.
We have literally in different festivals that I have been, we have had people leave after certain scenes.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Which makes sense because it makes them uncomfortable. But that's
now
not
one of these people were you.
Well,
No.
it's Adam and Eve.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Adam and Steve.
But you gotta be okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
I think that's more of a selling point.
Yeah, that's fun.
I think that's
Yeah.
great.
Get the fuck out of here. We don't want you.
Yeah.
And so, but once you understand and you know who your audience is, then you go after that audience, right?
Yeah.
And so you want to cater the script to that. Okay, so now you have a good script. You have a script with a message. Okay, so now you go find the money. And again, if you truly believe in it, I think people will too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything guys?
I love it. I was just going to say final thoughts before we get to plugs.
Anything you want other people to know about the film before we...
Okay. Go watch it. Go see it.
Where?
Download
Amazon.
it.
Where?
Oh, so it's literally on 20 online platforms. So Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Redbox, Hulu. I mean, the list goes on. If you literally just put Prescience movie online,
It'll be linked in the
find.
description.
Voodoo. Yeah, there's so many.
I guess some of them will.
Lionsgate. Yeah, so a lot of different online platforms. Go watch it.
Actually, I have a question. You said it was on Hulu, right? Also,
I believe so. Yeah.
how does it work with monetizing on Hulu? Because how is it based on the streaming? Because isn't it just? I mean, do they track all
some
those
of the
streams?
so some of the online platforms, the way you do is you get a lump sum. So you're
Okay.
given like I don't know $50,000 or
To
$100,
just
whatever
have
it
on
is,
there.
to have it in there, and then after a certain amount of people see it, you get a small
A small pay for
pay
whatever
for
it
that.
is.
Yeah, that's in terms as a filmmaker.
I
Now,
see.
as an actor, you get paid. You get a very small fee, a residual fee,
Right.
for each of the online platforms, and then at the end, every 13 weeks or whatever it is, you
Yeah.
get a check
A
or
check for it,
residuals.
residual check. Did you guys approach Netflix at all, or was that an option?
We are actually in talks with Netflix right now.
Okay.
They are looking to air it if everything goes well. Where's Wood? At the beginning of
Glass?
next year.
Okay.
So yeah,
Nice.
so that is our last stop,
Okay.
and I think it's gonna come to Netflix next year.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Happy to hear that.
Oh, thank you. Me too, because I need to pay those credit cards and I need to pay everybody back.
We need an investor to just pay off his credit card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody there? Any sugar daddy? MILF?
Oh, they're in our audience.
MILF?
They're
Sugar
there.
daddies?
Some
I don't
out
think
there.
they want to be called that way, huh? No.
David, if David wants to fund the movie, David,
Okay. David? Who's David?
David is part of
my friend.
your buddy.
Rene's entourage. He
David's
brought an
just-
entourage. with
David's
him.
just been laughing over there this whole time.
He's like, "Are we done yet?" No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, but I am still looking for investors for Raphael. I do have 3 other contracts that I'm producing right after Raphael. So yeah, I'm excited. And some of them I'm the lead, or just a small character.
just small
Yeah,
character.
it's gonna vary. But this one I am the lead. Everything after that is different. Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to hit you up and take you up on that offer, how could they find you?
Facebook, Instagram, IMDb, email, phone number.
What is your Instagram?
My name, Rene Mena. So yeah. Same
It's
as
that
on
easy.
Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, hit me up. And if you want to invest, if you want to collab, come.
Or even just follow his journey and see
Yeah,
what he does next.
that too. Yes. I something I do a lot with filmmakers and sometimes actors too. As long as they buy me coffee, I meet them for 30 minutes, an hour, and I answer questions. I help them out. I had some people do that for me throughout the year, so I like to help people out.
So we still owe you coffee.
Yeah, this is the era.
Well, you get me
true.
water.
That's
You get me
true.
water. Something as little as approaching names. A lot of people do not know how to do that. I have done it now several times. So for me, it's like, it's easy, but I understand that you can be intimidated by the process.
Yeah,
for
or
sure.
simply don't know how to even,
How to
or
do
who do
it.
you approach, right?
Is it always their agent?
Yes. Unless you know them personally, I wouldn't go to the actor unless you know them personally, or you don't want to go to their Facebook, Instagram. You want to come across as professional so you can be taken serious. Yeah.
Often the agent oftentimes isn't going to be satisfied with a low budget thing. The actor always usually wants to do the work. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. You're right.
The risk you take.
All right.
But that's why, like, I'm not aiming after Brad Pitt. I'm going after names that I can afford.
He'd be lucky to be in it.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
he was passed over on the role.
Right,
Eric
that's the
Roberts
man.
took
Yeah.
it.
Doing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah. Or that other Ad Astra.
Exactly.
Actually, that was a pretty good movie.
I actually like that movie a
Me
lot.
too, me
A lot
too.
of people did not like that
Really?
movie, but
No.
I actually enjoyed it.
I thought his performance was I actually liked his
yeah.
performance better there than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
he was
My favorite part of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I like
was
Leo.
chill
Leo was my
I
favorite.
thought Leo was my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
I like the dog.
I kept asking, why is Margot Robbie in the movie? I kept asking that because
She's
and
pretty.
then at the end,
She's pretty.
No,
and
Foreign ticket sales.
and she wanted to work with him. I don't know, with whatever. But at the
Yeah.
end, it all came
Well,
together.
it was
Yeah.
the whole movie was revolving around her. Spoiler: murder.
but not quite. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
it was like
suppose
a
at the
B,
end.
it was a B story that was like we don't really need it, but it came together at the end.
At the end, it
Yeah.
all came together, and I did enjoy that.
I mean, I
part.
find her like I was kind of like a little bit bored while they were like doing her like
Yeah.
watching the movie. I was like, all right, let's get to the Brad Pitt and Leo
Right,
stuff.
right.
But it was a very well done movie.
Yeah.
I did like it, and I love her. So
Yeah, I like her.
she's
too.
Yeah.
she's phenomenal.
yeah.
Give it up to
She's
her.
really good.
But anyway, man, good to see you doing so well. I met you so many years ago on set.
I know, and I
of
still run into you
Curaçao. I don't
at
even know.
auditions.
I don't even know where. Yeah, I run into you. I remember.
Yeah, sometimes.
What did I
Well-
run into you recently?
Yeah, probably a commercial, but
Probably
for a
commercial
full
audition,
year,
yeah.
I didn't do any commercials because I was so focused
On the movie.
producing.
Yeah.
I continue acting, auditioning a lot theatrically. I stopped acting commercially, so I have not done a commercial in almost a year.
Okay.
Well, starting next week, I'm back
Back in the game.
commercially. I need money.
Damn it.
Coca-Cola could help go a
There's-
long
there's
way.
a competition now.
McDonald's, I'm back. You already hired me, so hire me again.
There you go.
So yeah, so I'm back, and I
So
know
I'll
that I
probably
used to
see
see
you
you
there.
there more
Yeah.
in commercials. I don't know why.
Johnny's gonna hate that.
No, but
I'm like, damn it, dude.
I remember now. I saw
just
you
kidding.
for a TV show where we were both going for Dominican. I remember with my awful
it was
Dominican accent.
It was wasn't it like a baseball player?
Baseball. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you should just hire you or Orel.
Well, the thing is, they
Seriously.
don't even know what a Dominican accent sounds like.
No,
so.
but we know the tone of the skin.
I know,
There
I
are many
know.
things, and then I
they
showed
want Sammy Sosa. That's what they want.
I showed up there with my ridiculous outfit, and I know nothing about
pinstripes.
baseball,
Yeah.
and trying to do my Dominican accent. It was at some point I was in Cuba, then I think I flew to Puerto Rico in my accent. It was
Yeah.
just bad.
Hey, if you
Yeah.
chew enough gum, the accent can sound like anything.
Yeah, it's all right though, because the guy running the session doesn't know the difference between
They
a
don't know,
Cuban or
but
Puerto
I
Rican.
I
or,
do think sometimes they do have someone watching those tapes who
Maybe.
does know.
That's
Yeah.
possible. That's possible. Well, you
Yeah.
know what? I just played a Brazilian on Insatiable, so you know.
Well, I did that too on Kidding.
Yeah. Okay. So they. I mean.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I played. Here's what I have played so far: Indian, Pakistani, Middle Eastern, Portuguese. What else have I played?
When are you gonna play a white?
I cannot wait. I want
You
to.
play
yeah.
Asian,
So,
black.
I played quite a few,
There
yeah,
you
of
go.
different ethnicities. Yeah, so it's really cool. Yeah,
No, it's fun though, right?
yeah, it's different.
But then you get that person saying like, "Hey, you're not this."
Oh yeah, that happened to me. For a
Cultural
commercial.
appropriation.
That
I did a
happened to me too.
commercial for Dubai where I only had one line in Arabic, and everybody thought that I was from there because they wanted authentic people from there, right?
Yeah.
And well, I went to audition, and thankfully I landed the part. But once I'm on set shooting, my best friend calls me. We start talking Spanish because I don't want anybody to understand. And then I remember the director going, "You're Latin?"
Okay.
And I was like, why?
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I got caught.
So you also said you learned your Arabic pretty well then.
I've learned. Yeah, well, there I only had one line. So
Okay.
it was one line.
What was
Give
the
it
line?
to us.
I can't even. It was one word, one line, and you're gonna laugh at me. Watch, Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, okay. So it was just a greeting of like hello.
Literally, yeah.
Hello.
And then because I had that word, and the next Arabic person said, "Oh, welcome," and then the next one said Dubai,
Okay.
and that's it. That was the commercial.
Cha-ching.
And actually, one more thing before we wrap it up. Renè, would you give us a drop? Hi, my name's Renè, your last
Yeah.
name, and you're listening to Surviving Hollywood Podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What am I doing? What am I doing this to the
It's
camera?
just going to be the audio.
Sure, whatever you want to do.
So the audience is seeing. Oh,
This is for when you're a household name in 2 years. We want to use this drop.
Johnny's gonna be a bigger name.
We got
man.
plenty of his
We got
drops.
plenty of
You're
plenty.
killing it.
yeah,
You're killing it, dude.
Okay, this guy's listen. I watched it. Was it on Magnum PI? Is that
Nah, I wish I could- I
Hawaii?
wish
No,
I
it was
could work on
Hawaii
that.
5-0, right?
Yeah,
That's what I saw.
Hawaii
Yeah, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, man.
Johnny
see,
killed it.
That was a
They
free
both
vacation
shoot over there.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Free
Okay.
vacation, man. But yeah, dude, let's
Surviving Hollywood. Okay, all right. So I'm doing it to the camera. I don't know.
sure.
Why.
The audio
do
is
both.
important.
As long as
Yeah, now I'm nervous. Now that you,
Buddy, this is the audition.
this is why I
Start
don't
with
book a lot of
Assalamu.
work.
You can start with Assalamu.
just say
alaikum.
hey my name, and then you're listening to Surviving Hollywood.
Okay, let's see. Oh, so it's gonna be like a slate.
Make
okay.
it
Sure.
No,
Got
make
it.
it creative.
But have
Okay.
fun. Have fun
Yeah,
with it.
have personality.
Okay, all right. Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Rene Mena, and you are watching Surviving Hollywood Podcast.
I love it.
All right, perfect.
That's good.
I
That's
say
good.
hi. How are you?
I loved it.
Yeah.
that was
Good. I love it, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for appreciate
Thank
it,
you
man.
guys. Yes,
Great conversation.
you guys are awesome.
I
That's
love
why.
this.
You're awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So where does this go again?
This is just for us.
For us, we just hold on to it. Yeah.
No, it's on YouTube and iTunes.
That's awesome.